was in Indonesia, and they conferred upon me the international advisor of the Universitas Islam Shafi'iyah in Jakarta as their advisor, and advisor to other things and so on. Then I stood on the podium and I said that you are not just giving me this honor, but those that brought Islam from Indonesia, Tuan Guru, Syekh Yusuf, all those people, they brought Islam, and the people that they taught, and others that preserved Islam, and others, until it came to when South Africa had mashayikh and shuyukh that went to study further in other countries, and came back home, and they produced others and others and others, until it came to our time, and others prepared us. So whatever you are giving me is upon all those people that preserved Islam. So that is how it started, and how people memorize, like Tuan Guru, Abdullah Qadir bin Abdul Salam. He was in Robben Island, but for 13 years he wrote the Quran from memory. Now it just shows that one thing you must understand, it was not slaves that came here, it was all royalty from your country that was exiled. People of education, people of knowledge, people of dignity and standing and integrity from your country came. It wasn't slaves. But with them came slaves. And of course, they then taught those slaves. So one of the ladies in Cape Town who owned ground, that was married to somebody, she then bequeathed that ground where the first mosque is, Awal Masjid in Cape Town, for a mosque and for a madrasa. Bequeathed, and then the Sheikh built the first mosque and the first madrasa. So it shows that his vision was there, his mission was there to do something. Right? He didn't just say he was upset that they put him in the prison, upset that they bring him to South Africa. No, they know it is maybe Allah has got a better plan. So they will just continue as instruments of Islam. You see, it wasn't just ana, me. No, it was nahnu, we. Yes. What can we do for others while we have life? That's why the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, An-nasu niyamun fa-idha ma'atu idabahu. People are given whole life to live, but they're fast asleep. Wa-idha ma'atu, and when Malak al-Maut comes to extract their ruh, they say, don't, we want to live, give us extension of time. But time is over, time is over. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Time is due. La yasta'khiruna sa'atan wa la yastaqdimun. It won't be a minute or a fraction of time early or too late. On time. Like you say in Arabic, we docked, specifically on time. You see? So, if this is the precision of Islam, is it now ironical? Is it an accident? No, it is just the truth. That is what life is. You come, you live your cycle of life, but what did you do while you were given life? Irrespective of where you were sent, where you were placed. And even they spoke about the prison, even those people realize while we're inside here, we can't just sit inside the cell or just work in the quarry, hard labor. We have to do something else. Right? And it stands out to the world today that they, under those circumstances, did so much. Unfortunately, when people are outside and they start the new governments with all the help that they get, they seem to look after themselves first, and then the corruption starts, unfortunately. And here I want to, the important point is important. I don't think it was President Suharto or President Sukarno. They did a lot for South Africa, but there was something that happened in Indonesia. Even Salman Al-Farsi, ambassador, he doesn't know about it. So, what one of the ambassadors, you know Ibrahim Rasul?
Yeah, Rasul, Premier.
Rasul had a private meeting with me, a private lunch, at one of the restaurants. He asked me to. So he mentioned to me one important point. The previous book that we did with Erlanger,
Erlangga.
who's now returned to,
Yes.
that book, which is finished, and there was another one now that's supposed to come out where Salman Al-Farsi was busy with, So, and then of course, the next book that we want to do must contain this. And what he meant was, Islam came to South Africa, listen, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, but there was never, it just, the graph goes up. There was never a dive. It continued to go up. Although today the Muslims are much more fortunate than the Muslims before, because they have much more freedom, advantage, all that. So they can, but from your country into South Africa, this place was Khuzan, was grief, and it was later called the Cape of Good Hope. So there's always hope, and it was growing. But Indonesia being a Muslim country, one of those presidents, something went wrong there, and there was a degree of Islam, but then it dropped. And there were some other things that happened there, and then there was a resurgence of Islam. It came up again. I don't know what went wrong there, but that's an important point. We received our Islam from you people, and there was continuous rise to where we are today. Maybe it is more modern today, but the people's taqwa is maybe not as like the people before, or the iman, because those people had iman of steel, taqwa of steel, but they were under terrible conditions. Today the people are free and they're easygoing. I'm a Muslim, any Muslim, you know what I mean? Those were pure Muslims before. So Islam grew. And up to today, no problem. But Indonesia, as the biggest Muslim country of the world, right? That's an important point in history between South Africa and Indonesia that I want you people to remember. Not that I say it because it is derogatory to Indonesia. No. It's historically a fact that something went wrong in the government and many people left the fold of Islam for other religions, or whatever happened there, whatever happened in Indonesia, and then it came back again, right? Through other things that happened there. I think it's an important point. Yeah, because it's not what I say, it's what happened there. The source that was brought into South Africa grew, but in the source where it came from, there something happened in that country. And that was, I don't know, the time of Suharto or Sukarno, president.
Which one is earlier, in terms of Muslim community in Western Cape or Eastern Cape in Port Elizabeth?
No.
The first masjid built.
They say that this masjid in Cape Town is the first masjid.
Okay.
But there's other points also that show that people came from Indonesia via Malaysia, and they were also sultans or whatever they were, and they came into Port Elizabeth. And that's where also early days the masjid was built by those people. So there is a discrepancy. The proof is that Cape Town is the first, others have proof Port Elizabeth is the first. You understand what I mean? So people came not directly from Indonesia to South Africa, via Malaysia. Indonesians came into South Africa. And they didn't come to Cape Town, they came to Port Elizabeth.
Yeah, that was like much earlier than Sheikh Yusuf. And
that's also another question.
Oh.
That's also debatable.
Oh, there's no historical facts yet.
No, but you see what I've noticed. that the information, because of apartheid in South Africa,
Mm.
many things in our archives was distorted. So our historians that take information from there cannot compare themselves with the historians of Indonesia, who knows exactly who left when and what happened.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean? And if you look at Tuan Guru, who was his father? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His mother remarried somebody else.
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
Yeah.
You see?
From Cirebon.
Yes, 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 yes. So, and how and where they studied before they came here, which places they were before they came into this country. That time, this was known as the Cape of Storms, because as the boats came in, if the sea was rough, they couldn't get to the land. They had to wait outside in the sea where they calm down. Port Elizabeth was known as Al-Khoua Bay in Dutch. Al-Khoua Bay, which means Algoa Bay in English. Algoa Bay. Port Elizabeth, before the name Port Elizabeth, was Algoa Bay.
Algoa.
Before, and Algoa Bay in Dutch is Algoa Bay in Dutch.
Akhwabi.
Algoa, yeah.
Akhwabi or Akhwabi?
Algoa. Bay means bay.
Bay.
Yeah.
Algoa?
Algoa means the coast of.
Oh.
Yeah, of Port Elizabeth.
Oh, that's why I wrote some Nisan in, I think, Abu Rafiq, who some person spread Islam in Port Elizabeth.
Yeah.
He read like, I came from Indonesia, from Batam, to the place of Ahlul Balad, Ahlul Al-Akhwabi. Al-Akhwabi, I think. Yeah. So I know that Akhwabi is a place name before Port Elizabeth. Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you go to Port Elizabeth again, there's a man by the name of Imam Bihardin Japi. Imam Bihardin Japi. He's the oldest Imam. At the masjid where he is, that Imam position came from father to son over generations. The other masajid is where other groupings came in, maybe people from the business sector, and they were tabligh orientated. They then bought out the masjids, saying to the Imam, I give you R1 million. Step down from the mimbar, step down from the mihrab. We take over with a Hanafi concept. But Imam Bihardin didn't allow that to happen, because for generations, father to son, and he never studied outside South Africa. He studied from with his father, the Imams. And his son is now a doctor of economics. He did his thesis on why family should not be in a business. Why you don't put family together in a business. And his thesis was recognized in Germany. Why don't make it a family business? Yes, yeah, the disadvantage of family in a business. You know that? Yeah, but besides that, he knows the history, and when it comes to the origin of Islam, he knows that also. He's a good friend of mine. He's old now. He's very sickly, but alhamdulillah, he's still there. If you ever go to Port Elizabeth again, I will be going in the second month of next year there, inshallah.